What's up guys, the Lazy Gold Maker here with another video, and this one we're taking a look at some important changes coming in 9.1 that's going to have a huge effect on the legendary market. Now, as most of you will be aware, the base legendary market has been the main way to make a lot of money with professions in Shadowlands, and that's probably going to remain so. But there's a big system coming with the new raid, the Shards of Domination sockets. So these are special gems that can only be socketed in special Shards of Domination armor sockets that you get from raid bosses. You can get, if you socket 3 of these gems, you'll get a set bonus, and then you can socket up to 5 of these in specific slots, and that's the important thing. This is essentially a kind of set item, so they take up specific slots, and you probably want to have all 5. There are 9 gems in total, and they're going to be split up by some of them increasing your DPS, some of them giving you more utility, and some of them giving you more survivability. In most cases, we will expect people to want to maximize these shards as long as they are strong. Like as long as these are good, people will want to have all 5 of them. And what does that mean? Well, you can't put these sockets on legendary items. So if you have a legendary item in a slot that's going to have a Shard of Domination socket from the raid, then you don't want to have that legendary item anymore. You want to swap that out to another slot. So a lot of people will probably be looking to recraft their same legendary in a new slot. Blizzard has even added more slots to many of the popular legendaries. Some of them could only be crafted in slots that's going to have Shards of Domination sockets. And this is going to have a huge effect on the sale rates of various legendaries. So I documented this, or I wrote about this a while ago, where I went through all of the base legendaries and the region average daily sold, and that's going to change massively. So let's take a look at what slots we're going to have these items in. So here we are at the competitive WoW subreddit. This is a great subreddit that even gold makers should follow, because this is what the min-maxers are doing. So if they discover anything that's related to an item or a crafting item or whatever, then you want to know about it so you can start selling it to them, because this is what people are definitely looking to spend gold on, their character performance. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for this. This is the important part. The list of item slots where you get Shards of Domination. Any item, any legendary in these slots is going to be something that in general you'll want to avoid that. Now, there might be some effects here where, like, okay, you have a head legendary and it doesn't drop a headpiece for your armor class until, like, the 9th boss. So maybe it's not worth recrafting because you won't get that upgrade. You can't rely on getting that upgrade for progress anyway. So it doesn't matter. That might be the case. But in general, people are going to want to avoid having legendaries in these slots. Absolutely avoid them. So what does that mean? Well, it means that all of these legendary slots are going to see significantly reduced sale rates. It also means that all of the legendary slots that are not listed here should see significantly increased sale rates starting right now, as people are starting to realize this. Wowhead literally just today, posted about this, and that you will want to recraft your base legendaries or your legendaries for a new slot if it overlaps with the Shards of Domination. So this is now something that's entering the public mind of WoW players. They're now starting to realize this. Of course, I don't think we'll see the huge effect yet for everyone. It will depend a little bit on whether or not your spec is seeing a lot of tuning, because for some specs the base legendary is going to change. We're going to look at and people might wait until 9.1 is out before they make the choice. They might just farm the Soul Ash now. But let's take a look at how this is going to impact the sale rates. So here we have the full list of sale rates, right? And I've bolded out the ones that are not Shards of Domination. So the ones that have slightly larger text. These are going to be the ones that will see increased sales. So for plate, the most popular one is the Greaves, and they'll remain the most popular ones because they're still really good. And the legging slot is not a Shard of Domination slot for any armor type. And since leggings is, along with the chest piece and the helmet, the armor slot that gives you the most stats, this is going to be the one people will prefer whenever they can. If they can have a legendary on their legs, they will, because it gives them the most stats per slot. It's the best one. If they can't, then they'll pick whatever is the second most second most stats per slot. That's going to be boots, gauntlets, belt, and shoulders. These have equal amounts of stats. If they can't have those, then they'll pick bracers, cape, or rings or necklaces. That's going to be the general trend we'll see whenever people can pick. So for blacksmithing, the major change, pauldrons and breastplates, that both did really well, along with the bracers and the gauntlets that were okay. All of these should see decreased sales, and then we'll see an increase in the sales for belts, boots, and greaves. It all depends a little bit on exactly where the where you can craft whatever turns out to be the best legendaries for plate classes, and exactly how the rating meta turns out for 9.1. Which I don't think anyone knows. I'm sure that some of the top guilds have a good idea of like what classes they want to bring to progression, and then that's going to trickle down, but the general player base does not know what the best classes or the best legendary combinations will be for 9.1 yet, so we'll just have to see. For leather, the big change is that belts might finally be useful. They have had a terrible sale rate overall. Leggings and bracers are both quite well, sell quite well already. Like bracers is the top seller actually for legendaries for leather, and that will probably continue to be the case. And then we'll see the boots, the helmet, that were other really good slots. They will go downwards in sale rate. Same with the gauntlets. And you'll want to prioritize these slots for if you haven't leveled legendaries. These are the slots you'll want to prioritize. And that's how it is. Now, mail is very interesting because for mail, there was 3 good slots: the pauldrons, the helmet, and the treads. Those were the only good slots. All the others were really, really bad and probably not even worth leveling, to be honest. But after the patch, it's going to be gauntlets, greaves, and arm guards that are going to be the good ones. So if you haven't leveled these, now is definitely the time. I've seen some absolutely silly sales. I'll show you one of a Bone Shatter arm guards after we've gone through the rest of the list. The Bone Shatter belt, the poor Bone Shatter belt, the worst legendary recipe in the game, will remain the worst legendary recipe in the game. I would strongly suggest never leveling this unless you've already wasted your gold. It is abysmal, not worth it at all. For tailoring, we'll see some of the staples that I've made a lot of money with, like the headpiece and the bracers and the shoulders and the robe. They will be going down significantly. And then everyone's favorite cape that can be worn by literally every class in the game. This one will be quite strong. And then we have the boots and the gloves, which are okay, along with the pants. Obviously, pants are going to be the top seller as long as they are in a good slot. I know that, for instance, for Destruction Warlocks, the Grimveld Pants is one of the slots where you can put the BIS single target, or at least what used to be the BIS single target legendary. So Warlocks will be swapping from going either head or shoulders right now if they're playing Affliction, to probably going pants if they're doing swapping to Destruction, or making a cape if they're going to keep the same legendary, or making another legendary for Affliction. It all depends on exactly how tuning shakes out. Lastly, jewel crafting. Well, rings and necklaces are not Shard of Domination slots, so they should see increased sales. They will be more popular just by the fact that a lot of the other choices will be off the table. So that's it. These are the important slots, all the ones I've bolded out. You can just pause the video at some point in the past to write it down, and I might even share this in the description of the video, so you can just get it straight up. These are going to be the important recipes to have leveled, and not only that, starting right now, when people are starting to get aware of this, people will now start preparing. I'm not sure how many people know what legendary they're going to play in 9.1 yet, and in 9.1 you can get, at least as far as I know, uncapped soul ash. You can just keep farming and you'll get more and more soul ash. Probably not going to be hyper efficient, but I will expect that a lot of people will be farming the soul ash and getting their new legendary at the beginning of the patch in the first week before the raid releases, and people have a better idea of what the BIS legendary and the BIS spec is going to be. People always flock toward what is known to be good, so we'll have to wait for that to know what's going to sell well, but keeping all of these rank 4s available for sale is going to be very important. A lot of people will be crafting rank 4 legendaries of these non-Shard of Domination slots over the next 2 to 3 weeks in preparation for 9.1 and preparation for the raid and M+ release when that happens down the line. So be ready for that. Have those recipes leveled. If you want to prioritize some recipes, I would suggest focusing on the ones that already have a high average daily sales and will be a non sharded domination slot. So for instance, for tailoring, obviously you want to prioritize the cape because it already has absolutely silly sales and it will just get better. If you're a leather worker, I would prioritize the arm guards and the leggings from leather. And I would actually not suggest leveling mail yet unless you have enough gold to actually brute force like all of the recipes. If you can do all of them, then yeah, go for it. Otherwise, I would probably wait a little bit or just read up on some shaman guides and hunter guides to figure out which slots they will prioritize of these ones, and then craft accordingly. It's just 2 classes, so it's not that much time to look through. And then for blacksmithing, you're obviously looking at the greaves, but like all 3 of these are good currently and will remain so just get all 3 of them. You're not really afraid of losing anything there. So lastly, I was going to look, like this has already impacted the markets. Look, because this are my sales since yesterday of legendaries. And we'll see that we've sold a lot of stuff that's going to be in the non-shard slots. We've sold some Bone Shatter Arm Guards for 90,000 gold. I think these are rank 4. This is an absolutely ludicrous price for this item. These Umberhide Pauldrons, they're just expensive because material prices have gone up so much. We've sold Greaves, Necklace, Pants, Necklace, Bone Shatter, Ring, Waist Guard. I think all of these are in the non-Shard of Domination slots. So that's how it will be. It's already started a little bit, and of course with how material prices have massively exploded, things are really expensive right now. Luckily, I had a huge stockpile because I always just craft up to 3 of each brainlessly. So that's going to pay off in some cases for me right now. But as we go into 9.1, just be aware of this. Prioritize the slots that are most likely to be popular. It's okay to just keep your materials, so to just keep it in materials and then craft 1 of each of the rank 4s and then recraft as you get the sale, and then after a couple of days you'll have a good idea of which ones sell faster. I want to prioritize recrafting those over recrafting some of the others. So that's it. That's it for what you need to be aware of with the big 9.1, the socket change. There's more stuff around like Vestige of Origins and rank 5 and all that jazz. Not really going to look at that in this one. It's obviously important to get the rank 5 or get the Vestige of Origins recipe as soon as possible and get crafting rank 5s and 6 when people can craft them. We're going to see similar trends to what we saw at launch with huge surges when people have enough soul cinders to upgrade their legendaries. But yeah, the most important thing right now is to make sure you have the recipes leveled for the slots that are likely to be popular and that you're ready to go. And that you're aware of the fact that stocking up on tons of items for instance, the Bone Shatter Pauldrons that were really good in 9.0, they're not going to remain as good. Just be aware, and you can take advantage of this and hopefully make a lot of money in 9.1. I know I'm hoping to. Leave a like, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the video or if you have any input. Maybe there's something I've forgotten. I haven't taken an absolute deep dive on the PTR, so there might be some nuances I'm missing. Because I'm just not that kind of player, but this is gonna be big. Legendaries are gonna be big. I'm really looking forward to huge demand again. At launch it was absolutely crazy, so that'll be fun. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. It really helps me out if you're enjoying the videos. And if you just want to read about gold making, then head over to thelazygoldmaker.com. You can find the link in the description to my website. I post guides there 2 times a week currently. And focus both on Shadowlands and TBC. So yeah, have a profitable week, have a profitable day, have a profitable new patch, and let's make some gold with legendaries, guys. Goodbye.